Paula Radcliffe, Andrew Cotter and Colin Jackson are taking this one, and they are of course alongside Steve Cram, who you'll hear a little bit later on. Good evening.
Good evening, Gabby. Good evening, everyone. And we're ready for the first of three semi-finals in the men's 200 metres. And there was the old man of this lineup at 32. It's Desalu, the Italian, but he's the second quickest in Europe this year. Only Zharnel Hughes who's run faster this season. I would say it's not the strongest event of these championships, the men's 200 metres, but it should be very, very competitive. And we'll see Zharnel Hughes, we'll see Ibuka Wokeji, the youngster, in the third semi-final. Truskauskas of Lithuania goes on the outside, then it's Desalu. Actually lost to the youngster Filippo Dezza at the Italian Championships, and we'll see him in the third semi-final. August Uyar of Turkey goes in 7. Then we've got Sean Igbobo, the 20-year-old from Waterford, who's at the University of Houston. He broke the Irish record there in April. What we always say about US college times in the spring, they don't often translate to great times at championships in late summer. There's Grava. I mean, this is Igbobo's 50th race of the year. They work you hard on the US college scene. Josh Hartmann, the German record holder, although that time of 20:02 was set 3 years ago. A little bit down on that at the moment. Erik Erlendsson, 4th at the last European Championships in Rome as a 20-year-old. And then we have Kenny Emi Tijani Ajay of Norway, who set a new PB in the first round, 20.7. So again, in the sprints up to 400 metres, we're having the format of people being pre-qualified. The top 12 athletes are pre-qualified, so we're seeing for the first time the likes of Desalu, Zharnel Hughes to come, and Sean Igbobo, the Irish athlete who goes in lane 6. Again, fascinating to see how he goes, the 20-year-old, because he's been running so well, but so often. You know, the US college scene works with Carl Lewis over there in Houston. So we have 2 to go through automatically, 2 tomorrow night's final and 2 fastest non-automatic qualifiers. You can see the breeze is out there. This could be a quick race behind them on the home straight. Desalu not as quickly away as I expected. Igbobo with that rocking style in the green vest of Ireland. A huge number of Irish fans here, but Grava of Latvia is corner best of all at the moment, and it will be Grava bringing the horn, and Desalu now starts to make his move. Desalu and Igbobo for Ireland trying to get into the top 2. Hartmann of Germany going well, but it's going to be Desalu, it's going to be Grava of Latvia. They're the top 2 automatically. See, there's the win, 2.9 metres a second behind them on the home straight. That's why the javelin, they've been struggling a little bit in the javelin and the decathlon. Desalu with the win. So again, perhaps don't take too much notice at the time, but Desalu did look good there, Colin.
He looked very strong and in control, and you would expect that of a man who's run 20.1 this year. One of the favourites for a medal to get on this roster. A very nice bend, comfortable, nice and bouncy, still ranging. Even the last 40-50 metres, he's still got energy going there, knees are going nice and high. But I'm just looking at the Latvian inside him, because he really struggled at the back end of his preliminary round, and you can see the difference that the wind has made him. It's allowed him to just come up and stay nice and tall, and he gets rewarded with a 20.27. So good solid sprinting there.
Desalu is the picture of relaxation in the face. That's what sprinters need.
Absolutely. You come off that bend, have that full sense of control. You want to know what you're doing, and you can see when he goes on it, there's no stress at any stage. He has that lovely transition where he literally gets flung off the bend, and it allows him to get into extended stride then. At that moment in time, is you want to think to yourself, stay tall and nice and relaxed, and that's what he did.
Igbobo's 24.6 only gets him into the hot seats, clinging on at the moment. It's no myth, it's what we say. You know, this is his 50th race of the season. That really does take its toll as we go to the triple jump.
Yeah, women's triple jump final underway. One of the most unpredictable finals of these European Championships. Beside him, Zharnel, after disappointing Commonwealth Games, goodness me, the weather was a bit different. They did have a big following wind, but it was a bit chilly and wet. He got cramped and ended up not in the position he would have been accustomed to. And certainly, if he is to win this 200-metre time again, he's well capable of it, then I think he will be really looking to stamp his authority on this semi-final. Mumentala, the surprise gold medalist in Rome 2 years ago, was in the 100 metres earlier. only recently given clearance to run for Germany. Horton, formerly the USA. Santos was in the 100 metres, qualified for the semi-final, and was ill. He didn't line up in the semi-final. He's much better, he says, and he ran in qualification for this into a big headwind and ran 20.7. He'll be quicker here. And then Longobardi and Lawler, these guys all came through the qualification process. Got the chance to run in a semi-final here tonight. So Lawler of Ireland and then Konkatal of Turkey right on the inside. Well, lane 1 not using lane 1, so lane 2 for him. So Zharnel, I think if you see the guy in the previous semi run close to 20 seconds, and he was close to that at the British Championships here on this track, seems a while ago now, 5-6 weeks ago. Looked great then, and we'd love to rediscover that, get close to 20 seconds. Number one thing though, finish in the top 2 here. So Hughes in 8, Momentala, defending champion, Horton, the American, recently transferred to Germany, and Santos should be in those lanes. Larson might have something to say about it. There he is. Santos last to settle. Away safely. Hughes just got left a little bit. Momentala making up half a metre on him. Now Hughes gets into his running, chasing Larson around the top bend. Horton going well for Germany. Santos with a little bit of work to do. Hughes is in a race here with the defending champion, and 2 of them are pulling away. And it's going to be tight between the 2. Hughes just looks across, eases back. That's much, much better. There you go. Said get close to 20 with a plus wind of plus 1.6, so not quite as much as we had in the previous one. And he could have gone under 20 there if he wanted to. Just check back. Nice race with Momentala, who continues to impress. That's a PB. And given that in the 100 he didn't run as quick as he has been running this year, this is his better event. He stepped up and performed well. Santos again improved. And Larson out of the times at the moment, all quick.
Absolutely. And do you know, sometimes we've got to remind ourselves, when we talk about that European record of Pietro Romeo, at his best, Zharnel's only 100th a second behind that. So he's really the ultimate performer in both 100 and 200 in Europe when he's at his very best. And it looks like he's returning to form so well here today. He looks very comfortable. And he's running like he is confident. That is the key factor. He can take on the defending champion and just hold him at bay. It's really nice to see.
Well, let's not hold him back any longer. He's gone straight to speak to Sarah. He's there now.
Zharnel, you were just looking at some of those replays. You had a big smile on your face. That was a confident-looking semi-final.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'm happy how I executed it. I did was exactly what I was told to do.
And how much did that mean, and was it important after what happened at the Commonwealth?
It was fun. Commonwealth's behind me now. What happened at Commonwealth is that I got a cramp in my left adductor, unfortunately, but I've recovered and I'm here to run and I'm here to compete at my highest.
You've great experience at Europeans, you're here on home soil, the British team are doing really well as well. You're a leader within it. You know, how much do you want to lead from the front now going into that final?
Most definitely. I've been sitting back and watching the guys compete. It's finally good to come out here now and experience the crowd and experience what those guys experience, and I'm just happy to just go through the rounds nicely and come back here tomorrow and solidify what I came here for.
And what do you think you've learned from that semi-final now ahead of that final?
Just keep trusting myself. I'm very good and I know the shit that I'm in, and I just need to prove it to myself.
We'll see you in that final, Zharnel.
Thank you.
Desalu of Italy, or Zharnel Hughes. So here they are. This is how they line up for the third of the semi-finals in the men's 200 metres. Enrico Iluka, semi-finalist in the 100. Actually, he was put forward when Delvis Santos had to pull out, as Steve was talking about in the previous semi-final. Santos is now in one of the hot seats here as one of the fastest non-automatic qualifiers. We saw a race, bronze in Rome 2 years ago, Switzerland. There's Owen Ansah, bronze in the 100 metres here, third quickest in Europe this season, over 200 metres. Antoine Snijders the Belgian champion over 100 and 200. Didn't look great in the 100 out in the heats, but 200 is far his better event. We saw Dezza's hairstyle in the first round, and he looked good, the 20-year-old. So we'll talk about him in a moment, but here's the 19-year-old. Shaftesbury and Barnet Harrier, but as mentioned, from Northampton. Finished third at the UK Championships. Great Britain and Northern Ireland only with 2 here because Nathaniel Mitchell-Blake had to pull out. Henry Sai of Estonia goes in 3, and then Linus Pihl of Sweden in lane 2. Yeah, Filippo Dezza, I mentioned in that first semi-final when Desalu was running that he was a surprise winner over Desalu in the Italian Championships. And Dezza has come late to athletics full-time. He was a footballer and now he's concentrating on athletics. He had to go through the first round here to make it to the semi-finals. 12 were pre-qualified, but he did look good in the first round. He's running this morning.
Yeah, and of course he beat Grava, didn't he, from Latvia in that round, and he just saw him run 20.2, so he'd be favouring himself for sure.
Yeah, the wind is behind them on the home straight here, has been throughout the evening. Last of the semi-finals in the men's 200 metres. Wokeji for Great Britain and Northern Ireland goes in lane 4, the 19-year-old, fairly even at the moment. Although now Owen Ansah, the big figure in the goal of Germany, starts to move and power his way around the bend, and look at him lifting those knees, and there is Dezza, the Italian youngster. Can he get into the top 2? Only 2 to go through automatically. No, it's Weiss of Switzerland, or was it Dezza? No doubt about the winner. That's a very good time with slightly less of a following win. 20.04 from Owen Ansah. Bronze medalist in the 100 and laying down a marker here in the 200 metres. He goes through, he looks good. We'll wait to see who's taken that second place. I think it might be Reis of Switzerland, who was a bronze medalist in Rome a couple of years ago, but that was good from Owen Ansah.
It was very good from him, and I was just trying to think to myself, through this whole track season, I don't think I've actually seen him run a 200 in the flesh. You know, I've seen reports, I've seen videos, but never watched him run in the flesh. This is the first time I've actually seen him operate, and what I've seen is pretty impressive. Is Dezza, you've got...
Well, I think he's made it by 100th of a second. Dezza is one of the fastest non-automatic qualifiers. We'll confirm that in a moment, but we'll get a chance to have a look at Ansah again. The way he moved around the bend here, a big, powerful guy.
Yeah, and do you know, funny enough, like I say, because I've not witnessed how he runs the bend, first of all, he's very restricted around the bends, which means he's got a lot of energy left in the final bit of this 200 metres. What he's got to alter, I mean, there's many things in this, because he is quite heavy around the bend, he's not very light on his feet, doesn't really come that great transition. So he's not using that much energy because he's not fighting it either, he's just letting it all happen. And you can't criticise somebody for running the way that they do, but he looks very strong down the final 20 and 30 metres, and that could really be troublesome when a lot of people are there or thereabouts. He's looking good.
Yeah, he is, and I can confirm that Filippo Dezza, the Italian youngster there, has made it through by 100th of a second as one of the fastest non-automatic qualifiers. But Owen Ansah looking good, so too Zharnel Hughes and Esiosa Desalu of Italy. There's confirmation, the small queue for Dezza, personal best to do it. So talked about his talent, the youngster, but Owen Ansah, very, very impressive indeed. And that equals the fastest time in Europe this year, because that was a legitimate time with the win behind. Owen Ansah through to the final with Zharnel Hughes, a second quickest qualifier.
Promises to be another fantastic final. That's tomorrow night, of course. And just a reminder again that the women's 200 metre final is the last.